Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Macrocast, your source for news and entertainment with the minds behind Macro Records. We're your hosts. I'm Mattson.
I am Downlow'd.
And we are back once again.
Downlow'd.
This is our first episode of 2015. The year of our Lord, 2015.
How was your New Year?
It was pretty good.
What did you do?
Nothing, I mean...
Did you...
we had a family gathering.
Act like a rapscallion?
No.
Did you accost any homeless people?
No.
You didn't do that. That's your typical New Year's thing, though.
Yeah, I didn't fully celebrate New Year's this year.
I see.
Yeah.
I got this knife.
What?
This knife/bottle opener combo.
And how's that treating you?
I use it to cut my fingers.
Okay. You enjoy that?
Yeah.
Is it like a release of pain and torment, or what is it? What do you experience?
It's just mostly to get splinters out.
Oh, okay. You get lots of splinters in these parts?
Splinters is...
You get lots of splinters in these parts,
Actually, this is a family heirloom, this piece of gear that I've got right here.
I was telling Downlow'd pre-show about how much I despise this fucking hippo.
No, will you stop talking about it?
You know, I went from loving the hippo to hating the hippo, and
you're gonna love him again.
I hate the hippo right now, man.
You just have to learn to live with it.
I'm not happy with the hippo.
And
let it be known.
What's going on in the world of macro?
So the track you're hearing today...
Oh, it's Micah.
It is
Love
Micah.
I Lost.
Love I Lost. We're just re-featuring it.
We haven't featured it, have we? Before?
Actually, we didn't, because it came out the same day as Systems Corrupted. So... Actually, no, we featured Love I Lost the week before Systems Corrupted.
Is that so?
Yeah, it is. So it's been featured on the podcast, but we're just featuring it again. Mike Epp, good friend. He's also been on the podcast.
It was my birthday yesterday.
Yes.
So he came over the night before my birthday, or the night of my birthday at like 2 a.m., and just like banged on my door and basically wanted to kidnap me and take me to get burgers.
He wanted to kidnap you?
I messaged him and asked him how his burger adventure went, and he said that he got tacos instead.
Oh, okay.
So
tacos are good, man.
I don't know. I feel like they're probably on the same level of food. There's burgers, taco, and pizza.
Yeah,
Tacos.
I mean those are like ultimate. Those are the three food groups.
Those are the ultimate food groups.
I mean,
there's like steak, lobster, and venison. You have and then there's Italian food. That's another food group.
Oh man, I wish we could fucking.
All of the nutritionists that are part of our fan base are like cringing right now.
We don't have nutritionists as part of our fan base.
How do you know that? There might be some nutritionists that like Doctor Who or the stuff that we talk about.
They like Arrow.
They're like
Oliver Queen is in such marvelous shape.
He really is.
They're like, I wonder what he eats.
He's in fantastic shape.
Yeah. He's
doing all those pull-ups though. Like I loved in that episode. What was it? The episode of Flash, or if it was the Arrow crossover? Either way.
He's always doing the salmon ladder. That's his thing.
The salmon ladder, is that what it's called?
Yeah, the bar where you push up the bar up the levels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's called a salmon ladder.
Yeah, it's actually really difficult to do.
I imagine so.
It requires extreme upper body strength.
Well, I mean, you have to like push
Yeah, well, you rocket your weight forward enough so that the bar can move up to the next notch.
That's pretty crazy. How much does one of those things cost, I wonder?
I think they have them at gyms, like really hardcore gyms.
At gyms?
Like where?
whose gym?
Like where people do like CrossFit and stuff.
At Jim's place? At his house?
Yeah. You know Jim?
Which Jim?
James McEnroy.
Oh, James McEnroy.
Yeah, Jim.
I see.
So, some crazy shenanigans went down over New Year's. I got an interesting story to talk about. An Irishman. Are you familiar? Okay, so in the UK and Ireland, they don't have 911. They have 999. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
I've got you.
Know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So Steve Brown from Co-Antrim reportedly dialed emergency services twice on Christmas Day. According to reports, he had already had an ASBO, which prohibits him from calling the 999 number. His first call heard him claim that 2 men were threatening his life. And he called the service again 5 minutes later to cancel the previous call and claimed that he was Nicki Minaj.
What?
Yeah, he claimed that he was Nicki Minaj and there was a poltergeist in his house. So he was released on bail of 250 pounds, and he was banned from possessing or consuming alcohol and also from dialing the 999 number unless it's an extreme emergency.
So if he's like dying, he can call them still.
Yeah. But I mean, he can't cry woof anymore.
If you lose your foot, don't call them.
This is like...
You can easily treat a lost foot with burns.
Well, I mean...
Like, just get a torch,
just
right?
slather some oatmeal on there first.
All you have to do is get a torch and just, dunk it in animal fat.
Yeah.
And then just, light the fat on fire, of course, with probably 2 stones and some straw or something, whatever you have, at your immediate disposal.
Of course.
If you don't have it at your immediate disposal, I'm sure you can go down to your local merchant, and purchase a little bit of straw for a couple of ducats. And then, I've been watching a lot of Borgia lately.
Yeah, oh God. Why are you trying to segue already, man?
I'm not trying to segue. I'm letting people know. I've been letting people know on our Let's Plays.
During the Let's Plays, Downlow'd keeps saying, so, like, I'm watching Borgia, and I'm like, dude, no one fucking cares about Borgia.
Why don't people care about it?
I mean, it's just like, it's ancient history, bro. Literally.
I can't find any, I'm trying to look up how much a salmon ladder costs.
Oh, really? You haven't found anything, though?
Salmon ladder pull-ups. I'm just letting you know, so I'm doing something over here.
Okay, yeah, I thought you were texting like your 6 wives or something.
I have six and a half wives.
Oh, well, how's the half of one doing? I mean,
she's a little person.
That's not nice.
Why not?
I mean, you consider her half a woman?
No, she's a full woman.
You said she's your half-wife.
Oh.
What is a half-wife exactly? Is that like Half-Life?
Yeah.
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Half-wife 3.
Yeah.
That's still.
That's pretty silly.
So I don't think that anyone really does those, like, that salmon ladder thing.
It's real, dude.
In real life.
Yeah, they do.
It says ladder. It's a ladder stunt.
Real?
I don't know if it's, like, real.
I thought people do it, like, in CrossFit and shit.
I don't know. That seems like something I would be interested in doing. I feel like if you did it just, like, one time, you would be so jacked.
Just once?
Just, like, made it all the way up. How do you get down, though?
You jump.
You're, like, 30 feet up in the air by the time you're done.
I mean, imagine...
He has a huge one. It's in a warehouse.
Imagine the amount of dead tissue in, like, Oliver Queen's ankles.
Why?
Because, like, always jumping on rooftops and...
Dead tissue?
Like...
Why would it be dead?
His ankles are falling apart.
What do you mean?
His ankles.
His ankles are falling apart? Where did you get this knowledge from?
They're just gonna cave in on him.
What?
In the middle of his, like, serving justice upon someone.
In the middle of serving justice.
What if he stepped on a Lego?
A hot tray of justice.
What if he stepped on a Lego? And he could never be the Arrow again.
That would be the downfall of Oliver Queen as Arrow.
Well, have you heard about this, man? Lego pieces are still washing up on British beaches after 18 years.
This is old.
This is an old story.
This is an old story. I heard it a long time
ago.
So,
almost 18 years ago, a ship carrying a Lego ship.
And they're all worthless pieces of Lego, too.
Well, they're all... What's the irony behind it is they're all, like, marine-themed.
Yeah.
So there's, like, scuba divers... and stuff.
There's octopi.
So mainly
octopuses. Is it octopuses or octopi?
Octopi.
Octopi.
Octopi. I think.
Octopi.
So basically, the majority of them are washing up on the beaches of Cornwall, which is.
That's not suspicious.
It's a county in England.
It's a county. County of Cornwall.
It's bordered to the north and the west by the Celtic Sea.
How big is that? Like England has a bunch of those little, like, you know what I mean? They have like
peninsulas and stuff.
Just small, like, counties and like hamlets and stuff like that, where, like, I mean, like a couple hundred people probably live.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that in the United States.
Well, I mean, think about how long England has existed when compared to the United States. You know.
I know, but doesn't that almost seem like it would be more like Japan?
What do you mean?
Like, Japan is all, like, it's like New York's, well, you know, it's all, like, I don't know, I guess there are parts
like
of Japan
clustered?
that are pretty rural.
But I think
But it is pretty close to-
Population-wise, there's like 60 million people in the UK.
How many people are in Japan?
Is it 60? Yeah, 60 million in the UK.
I'll look it up.
You look that up, my son.
I'm not your son.
So there's also there's a Facebook page if you want to know more. It's called Lego Lost at Sea, and this lady's been basically tracking these Legos all her life. Like she's gotten a fair share of them. And
Keep talking.
let's see.
Don't
Okay.
stop talking ever.
So-
Never stop talking.
So here is the full list of Lego.
127.3 million people in Japan.
Yeah, so quite a bit more than the UK.
How many people are?
I think the UK is like 60 or 80. Okay.
64.1. It's quite literally double.
So here's the full list of Legos that were lost. 13,000 spear guns, both in red and yellow.
Don't care.
4,200 black octopi. 2,600 yellow... 26,600 yellow life preservers.
Wow.
418,000 diver flippers.
Really?
33,941 black and green
care.
dragons. 26,400 brown ship rigging nets. 353,264 daisies. 97,500 gray scuba and breathing apparatuses.
Daisy.
That's crazy. Is it true? Weren't you telling me that Disney is going to buy Lego?
No. I never said anything about that.
Oh, really?
I don't know anything about that.
Oh. So you're dealing in, like, inside information?
No, I didn't say anything about that. I don't know shit about that.
Everyone sell your Lego stock. Is Lego even publicly traded?
Yep.
It is?
Pretty sure.
So how's their stock doing right now?
Don't know.
Let's find out. I'm going to buy stock in Lego.
I never said anything about that.
Oh, you didn't?
Nope.
Okay. What are you doing over there, Download?
I'm playing with this thing. I don't know. You brought up some bullshit. Some bullshit I never even talked. You're like, didn't you say? I don't know where you heard about that.
I don't know either.
Where the fuck did you hear about it?
So, have you ever heard...
So wait, are they selling Lego?
Is it publicly traded?
Is it public? Yeah.
Let's find out. Siri, is Lego publicly traded?
She's not gonna fucking know.
Let me think about that. Okay, I found this on the web for is Lego public.
Shh. Woman. Lego is not a public company. It was founded in Denmark in 1932 by Ole Kirk Christensen. And as of July 2010 is owned by his grandson, Kjeld Kirk Christensen. The name Lego is a combination of the Danish words leg and godt, which means play well in English.
Great.
So I've imparted on you some glorious information right now about Lego.
This is boring.
Why aren't you? You should be more receptive.
I should be conversing with you about this topic of conversation. Was this even a topic?
Yeah, we were talking about how the Lego ship washed over sea, man.
Oh God.
So let's talk
Who
about
cares?
this. In Oregon.
Who cares about those damn Legos?
In Oregon.
The damn Legos and the Lego
What?
ships that cruise up and
No,
fucking
you-
curse the entire shore of cuckold
Oh my lord. Now you're talking.
cornhole.
So let's talk about this, man.
Cornwall.
An Oregon seed company
Corn husk.
has developed something called the ketchup and fries. And it's selling what they call a tomtato. Are you interested in the tomtato? It's both a tomato and a potato.
Where do you find these fucking topics? This is so ridiculous. It's not even like any. Who the fuck would care about it?
It's called the tomtato.
What is it? What is it?
It's basically fucking
Tomato fries.
It's tomatoes that are grafted onto potato roots.
What the fuck?
So you can grow potatoes and ketchup at the same time. Well, French fries and ketchup, yeah.
What the fuck? So you can grow tomatoes and potatoes from the same plant.
Yeah.
It's not like you're not like growing tomato or like ketchup flavored potatoes.
No.
What the? This is so pointless.
Yeah, it is pretty pointless, and that's what people were
Oh
pretty
my
much
god,
saying.
dude.
You're not interested?
I don't. You'd be hard pressed to find someone that is.
I'm gonna start growing those in my backyard.
People, not even. I mean, even if you showed someone, like if you
I'm gonna
brought them
start
to
a
your
vlog.
house, if you fucking went out and tried to get some like cougar drunk and bring her back to your house and impress her, and you're like, "This is my tomato plant," she'd be like, "Fuck off," and just leave.
It's called the Tom Tato.
Tom Tato. That's even worse. That's such a fucking neckbeard thing to
I'm
do.
gonna start a vlog mini series about my Tom Tato garden.
You can do that, and then also do another one about your nest.
Yeah.
You're
I don't.
building a nest,
Dude, this where we do the podcast is more of a nest than where I live.
You said that you want to build a nest.
No.
You said that you're trying to roost
Well, no.
in a neckbeard nest.
No, I didn't say
Yeah,
that.
you said that you were talking about it.
No.
You were thinking about roosting.
No, I said I feel like I'm a rooster.
No, that's not what you said. You said, guys, I'm thinking about roosting. How do I make the best neckbeard nest? Oh my god.
So-
guys, you need to go check out r/neckbeard nest. It's literally magical.
Reddit is a strange place.
This is kind of nesty, but compared to some of the shit that you see on that fucking site, it's like,
No, those places are disgusting. We never even mentioned the fucking squishable snoo on screen.
people are probably wondering what
They're
the-
like, what the fuck is up with that?
So if you go to our YouTube, you can see the video version of the podcast, and you'll see a squishable snoo.
Yes. He's so squishable.
So round and huggable.
So, and I was looking at the tag. Apparently it's made for like children who are 3 years old.
It's not for children under 3 years.
It's meant for children 3 years old and older to hug. It's a hugging toy.
It's not real. It's like a beanbag chair.
No, it's not a chair, man. You don't.
But that's
sit
like
on
it's
it.
like the same material. It's like a beanbag kind of thing. I don't know.
You do
If
not
you,
sit
like-
on him. He sits in a chair, man.
I
Look
kind of
at
feel.
him.
I kind of feel like a little bit ripped off, to be honest. The fact that I spent so much fucking money on this thing.
It was pretty expensive.
Like, yeah, it was like it came out to like $170 with like
Damn.
shipping and everything, and like I thought that it was going to be like made of memory foam.
Yeah, which would have been awesome.
Yeah, that
It would have been
kick-ass.
really awesome.
I'd like to squish it and like because then you could like even sleep on it and it would just like foam just like meld to your body and become one with you. And,
Snuggle with
like
him.
a parasite. And
Snuggle with
just, like,
Snoo.
You wouldn't be able to like
In Soviet Russia, you did not snuggle with Snoo. Snoo snuggles you. Exactly.
funny.
So, you want to talk a bit of TV?
No.
I know last week we meant to talk a lot more about TV, but we're going to really, talk about the shows we've been watching recently in detail.
Okay. We're going to talk about some of the recent shows that we've been watching,
Yeah.
and in the time that all of our other shows are off the air.
They're on break.
They're on break. Yeah. We've resorted to watching some other shows, guys.
So first, I want to talk about Trent's disdain.
For what?
For Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, dude, I can't get into it. I don't know why. It's like it's just so hard. We talked about it briefly like last week. They just don't. I don't know.
Well, it seems
I
like
can't do it.
seems like Bryant kind of shared your feelings on it too a little bit.
I think it's really campy. It's like that show is also really campy. I don't know.
I enjoy it, but I think I have more of a fondness for Marvel than you do.
I like Marvel, but I think that it's dumb to have a show called Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. where nothing happens at all.
So what about
Nothing happens.
So what about their new show that premieres Tuesday?
Asian Carter.
It premieres tomorrow. It's called Agent Carter.
So
Honestly,
wait,
this show looks pretty good.
We're going to see the trailer for Ant-Man, aren't we?
During
Agent
in the middle
Carter?
of the show, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that next
There's a
week.
teaser. I've seen the teaser. I don't know if they're talking about the teaser or the actual
Trailer.
trailer. Yeah, the teaser looks cool though. I'm excited to see Ant-Man.
It'll be cool.
I wonder if Ant-Man's going to become a giant in the movie. Because his suit works both ways, right? Like the Atom can go both ways.
Yeah.
Ant-Man is.
Is he the
Ant-Man
same?
goes both ways.
Oh no. So, but okay, what about Agent Carter though? Are you willing to give that show a chance?
Fuck no.
No?
Dude, based on, I don't know. If I hear that it's good, I'll watch it, but like the premise of the show is fucking stupid in my opinion.
It's
like,
about like Shield before it's come up.
dude, no, it's not. She's like she's in the future now. So it's like about her like
What?
Agent Carter lives in current time now.
In this show.
Doesn't she?
What? No.
It's just in the past.
It's in the past, dude.
Oh, that's stupid too.
That's pretty cool, man.
I don't. And so it's Agents of Shield, but in the past. Like, why don't they just do like Agents of Shield past?
Agents of Shield.
Agents of Shield future past.
Agents of Shield time of yesteryear.
Something like that. I don't know. You'll probably love it because you get a hard on for all this Marvel shit.
I like Marvel. I consider myself equally a Marvel and DC fan, although I do lean a little more towards DC. DC has better characters.
I don't know. I feel like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a completely unnecessary show. Like, I would like to see other Marvel characters. Like, I could give a shit about Agent Coulson. I mean,
but that's what makes it cool. It's like it's a procedural with a total Marvel feel to it.
It doesn't have a total Marvel feel to it. It doesn't have a Marvel feel to it at all. It's like the whole show, in my opinion, is them on the fucking plane. They're on the plane like the whole time.
That plane is so cool, though.
Great! So you love it. That's awesome.
No,
you know, I watched like half of the first season, and I was into it, and then I got really fucking bored. I don't know. I just can't. Now I can't get into it at all. I'm like, oh, Agent May. I don't care.
You should catch up, man, because the first.
I'm trying to, man. Trust me. I've like watched 2 episodes, and like I literally like fell asleep the second episode I watched. The
second season is pretty good, man. The first half of the second season is. Good.
I should just stop watching the first season and start watching the second one. I dread it, honestly.
You can get through it. It's not that much content.
I finished Lost, but it took me like years. I'll get through it eventually. I'll watch one episode like every 6 months, and then we can talk about like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in like 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Well, I mean, we're going to talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in 2 years.
Yeah.
Like
on like the Macrocast episode 450.
That'd be cool.
We'll talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
All right,
finally.
so I'm taking a note now.
We're gonna do that.
Yeah. So
taking a note now.
Let's talk a little bit. Doctor Who. All of New Who is going to be leaving Netflix.
What?
February 1st, I believe.
Well, I mean, I'm already caught up on all that shit anyway.
Yeah, but I just wanted to let our listeners know. So if you haven't caught up on the first 7 seasons of Doctor Who, of the new,
it's time to watch
Doctor Who reboot. It's time to watch. Binge watch. Get it done before February 1st.
And let us know what you think of it.
Yeah, send us your comments about it. Basically, send us your comments about the show at all. Just tweet us at Macro Records and use the hashtag the Macrocast, and we'll be able to see it.
We're always interested in hearing about your opinions.
I think it would be cool once we have enough listeners if we could get like tweets every week that we could,
like if you guys would just send us like one tweet, like ever, just one tweet,
ever,
please, just communicate with us so we know that we are real.
So, let's talk about some of the things coming to Netflix. There's some cool stuff
coming on Netflix.
Yeah, just coming all over Netflix.
What's coming on Netflix?
I'm not gonna name all of them because there's a lot, but Bad Boys 2, Batman and Robin,
God,
Bruce Almighty, Castaway, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2.
I should cancel Netflix.
The Road to El Dorado.
This is such bullshit.
War of the Worlds.
No one cares about any of these movies.
The original War of the Worlds from 1953.
Oh, great. That one's even worse.
Season 5 of White Collar. Ugh. And that's about it.
God. Who cares? Oh, man.
Yeah. And we
it's
got
painful. I'm like groaning over here.
Well, like 2014 was kind of a big year for Netflix. I think it was the most content they had ever put up.
I only like Netflix for their original content, really, at this point. Like, so now there's nothing to watch, but they just put out Marco Polo, so we watched all of that.
Before we talk about it, just real quick, right now you can watch all the seasons of Friends on Netflix too.
Yeah, I started watching the first episode the other day, and I was like, "This fucking sucks."
The show.
I was
itself,
like, "What?" It was like it's also like I don't know. It's also like textbook, like the way it's all planned out. It's like
but Friends is funny. Like
it's not funny. It was like canned. Like all the jokes have that fucking canned laughter behind it. Like without the canned laughter,
well, that's how all
sitcoms
are, man. Like
no,
look
How
at
I
Big
Met
Bang
Your Mother
Theory.
is funny.
Look at Big Bang Theory. A lot of people don't like that show
I don't like
specifically
it.
because of the laugh track.
I think Big Bang, but I don't think Big Bang Theory. I think that like it's really hit or miss. I don't know.
I like Big Bang
There's
Theory.
probably like 2 funny jokes in each episode. I don't know. I'm not a huge Big Bang Theory fan.
Yeah.
I like How I Met Your Mother though, but I'm not. And that has a laugh track, or not a laugh track, but a laugh. Whatever. Is it a laugh
Live
track?
studio audience.
No, it's not a live. They haven't done a live studio audience in years.
Yeah, I think they do, man. You can watch those shows.
I don't think they
live.
even. Well, I guess they do a live studio audience for SNL, but they have like 2 recordings for SNL.
Well, yeah, they do
So.
a bunch of recordings. Like,
Yeah.
look at Tosh.0. That's
no,
a
they
live
do 2.
audience.
They do 1 recording for SNL, but there's 2 shows.
What do you mean?
There's a rehearsal and then the actual show.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Now I have the Friends song stuck in my head.
Okay, so you mentioned Marco Polo, which we touched on last week, but
Friends doesn't hold a candle.
we didn't get to talk about Marco Polo like I wanted. And
Bring the Latin.
Yeah, especially Bryant was here. I don't think he had any interest in talking.
He didn't
about
have any.
Marco
He didn't
Polo.
have any input on anything we talked about.
Well,
I mean, as far as television goes.
that's to be expected. No one watches TV shows quite like us or other people like us.
No one watches them like us, man.
Well, there's a lot of people.
We
who
watch the most and the best.
Well, and if you're listening to this podcast, you probably watch a lot.
And
of
you
TV
probably
shows.
know too. You know what we're talking about.
You
You,
watch a
know
lot
that
of
you're
TV
better.
shows.
You are better
I
than
never said
everyone that doesn't watch those shows.
They suck.
Because we're the only people that you can relate to that we talk about. We talk about all of it because we know each other. You know us.
Intimately.
We know you intimate. We know what you're wearing. We can see you right now. But how can you see me? Because your dashboard has a camera that we installed when you went to get your registration sticker. We installed it. That's weird. That's really weird. All right, Marco Polo.
So okay,
So you took notes on this. You did take.
well,
you took some, like,
you mentioned that last week already, and
I'm
like
mentioning it again.
like I talked about too, the first episode was kind of a
The
big
Weinstein Company.
a big disappointment for me.
Just a big disappointment for
Like
me.
the first episode, I didn't care for much.
Oh.
It's okay. It is totally okay.
I'll start it again.
What? No, you can't. Don't worry about
I
it.
can't?
It's not needed
Why?
because we have the rest of our topics don't require it. We haven't used it at all today. We could have gone without connecting it at all.
What about Borgia?
What about it?
What about it?
I mean,
What about it?
Okay,
What about
so-
the Borgias? Huh?
so I think
Bor-
Download hasn't been infused with a new hungering for.
No, wait.
period
Well, we
dramas.
haven't finished talking about Marco Polo yet.
Yeah.
So what was your? I mean, you. All we've said now on this episode is the same thing we said in the last episode, which was that you thought it was the first episode was a disappointment.
Well, okay. So I felt like the story did move a little fast, but I guess that's kind of to be expected because there's probably only going to be 3 or 4 seasons of this show.
I don't know. I think that they could go a couple of different directions with it.
Yeah.
That makes it kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. But the show is not really about Marco, which I like. You know, Marco's he's kind of a stale character.
He's for lack of a better word, the main character, but it's really centered around 3 or 4 main characters.
I want him to bang the blue princess. Or like, yeah. I just want
Didn't
them to-
he, or did he have
I
some
think he
sort of
did.
fantasy about it?
I think he was like fantasizing about it.
That's
He's
one of the
like-
things I don't like about this show. Is sometimes it's really hard to tell the difference between they're showing you images and it's hard to know, is this what's really happening or is this his mind? You know?
Well, I mean, that was. I think the only time that happened was when he was thinking about her.
Yeah. Well, I felt that was the main problem with the first episode, though. The entire first episode was like
It was
that.
like flat. The first episode was all flashbacks, so that's why.
But they were in like some
like,
weird
father-
jumbled order.
Yeah, well, yeah, I could make sense of it.
I made sense of it, but I just felt like it was poorly done.
It wasn't like amazingly done. It wasn't terrible though.
Yeah.
It wasn't unwatchable. The acting was what was bad, in my opinion. Like when Marco's in the church, he's like, "Father, please to let me go with you."
Yeah.
He's like, son, you are not manly enough to come with me on the Silk Road.
Well, yeah, he starts off in the first episode.
You
like
idiot!
that, but it quickly changes. Like as soon as he becomes Kublai's prisoner, he changes. He's not like that little boy.
No, he starts changing after the first episode, I feel. But he
on the trip.
No, I mean like
after
as
the
he's
first episode.
in Kublai's like custody.
Yeah.
It takes a while though. I feel like the first episode he's kind of a prisoner.
Well,
I'm glad that they didn't spend too much time on that though. I would hate it if like half the season was him just like fuck you Kublai and like.
Well, it was. I mean, it wasn't like that because he shows respect for him. But half the season was like, "Oh, I must leave. How am I going to leave? Oh, I must leave." And the Blue Princess is like, "You must leave, Marco." And then he never leaves. Like he tries.
He was going to.
He tries too many times.
He came back.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. Like it shows that he had some sort of like dedication to Kublai's cause, even though
but it was
like, it was a shitty situation, like him being there, you know.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, but I felt like it was kind of watered down.
It was kind of Stockholm syndrome, if you think about it.
Yeah,
you know,
a little bit.
But his dad was a dick. Like his dad, fucking.
He's like
look at there goes the hippo.
All his dad is in search of is riches. He just wants to be rich.
His dad's a bastard.
Well, his uncle's even worse. His uncle's an asshole.
And so, well, I don't know if we mentioned, but spoilers. So doesn't he get his thumbs cut off or something like that? They get their thumbs cut off?
No, they get branded on the hands.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's way better than dying, though.
Yeah.
So Marco kind of saves their asses, but he tells them to never come back, right?
Kublai was like, "I will leave this judgment to you."
And he's like standing there watching.
No, he doesn't laugh.
He's like, no, he doesn't. That's what I thought was going on. He's like, come Latin.
Kublai? Okay, the thing about Kublai is they make him seem like he's a really fucking...
He's just a man.
Like a man with a conscience, but I feel like
he has a conscience.
Yeah, but did the real Kublai Khan have a conscience? Like he was a vicious warrior.
Well,
you know?
so is this guy. Like in the very beginning, the first episode, it shows you like all of the damage that they're doing. They're like all these people are they've all disrespected the Khan or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like on spikes and shit.
In the first episode,
yeah, when they're coming into the city.
Yeah,
and he was like, it would be unwise to disrespect the Khan or something like that.
But he's not like he's not really a tyrant at all. Like he seems like they made him out to be a nice guy.
He is kind of a tyrant though.
How so?
Because I mean, he's conquering all of these places, you know.
Yeah, but he's like a nice guy about it. Like he didn't even like.
They make him seem just.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's necessarily just. He's on top of his shit, though. But the whole...
Not really, dude. He's an old man with gout and like...
The Khanate's on top of their shit, though.
Yeah. He has a lot of enemies around him that he doesn't even realize.
Well, I think that's like what's going to happen in the next season, though.
Yeah.
We're going to see some interesting stuff transpire between... what's his name? Ahmed?
Which I don't approve of him as the villain. It's kind of shitty.
I don't think that that's going to be like the whole story arc, though. He'll probably get caught or something.
I hope he gets caught at the very first episode of the next season.
That would
and
be
then
cool.
they just put him in jail, and he's in jail for the rest of the season.
I mean, I don't know. They kind of take some roots that Game of Thrones does and they throw you like a wild card a couple times in that show.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't sure if like Jingham was going to win that battle, but he's like he's disrespected like over it the entire season.
Jingham?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
they're like, oh, he's a failure.
The guy from Fast and the Furious is always talking shit to him.
The guy who is that? The guy with the daughter?
The guy
that Marco fucks?
The guy from the very first, Catalan. Her name is Catalan. Cutulan.
Yeah,
Cutulun.
She's betrothed to Kublai's son, though, the warrior.
He's not his real son. Biamba?
No, it's his bastard son.
Biamba is a bastard of
Yeah,
Kublai?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Biamba is, and that's why
But doesn't he live in Kutulan's court?
No.
No.
Now that's when at the very end of the season, he went to her.
Yeah.
After all that shit happened. And they took over the city.
I feel like, is that guy going to rise to power, though? Kutulun's dad? Probably.
I don't know. Maybe it could
That's
be.
the guy
be
from Fast
interesting.
and the Furious.
I don't remember him.
He's from the first.
But
Fast
he's
and the
like
Furious.
a totally like American,
he's a good
like
actor,
Asian
man.
dude. Yeah, he's good.
He was also in.
He reminds me of someone that you would have seen in like Mulan, though. warrior from Mulan, you know?
Did you ever see 007 Die Another Day with Halle Berry?
Yes, but he's in that too? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the guy who has the diamonds in his face.
Really?
Like, the diamonds get stuck in his skin?
That's him?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
It's the same guy.
Oh, okay. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I thought that he was pretty good. I can't believe that Marco banged her though. That was like kind of a worthless thing too, because.
But did he bang her?
Yeah, that happened.
I don't feel like I saw it happen, but I wasn't sure. I was like,
No,
did
yeah,
just
he
bang?
totally screwed
They
her.
were like wrestling, and then they kissed there for a second, and I was like, okay,
Nah, and then he fucked her.
okay,
That definitely happened.
like just in the middle of those tents, in that like.
Yeah, I don't know,
middle-
which was kind of weird because she's supposed to be like a virgin.
Right, and there's
everyone-
people like
and,
fighting for her
Like
hand
right,
in marriage.
yeah, like right by there.
Yeah.
like right. I mean, there's people like hanging out right
like
by.
30 feet away.
Yeah, totally. No, but he totally banged her, and no one like they never talk about it again.
No,
And then she like falls for that other dude, for Biamba.
she just wanted a little taste of the round eye.
She wanted a taste of the round eye.
So
right.
that's like the derogatory term they
But-
use against Marco all the time. They call him a round eye.
the Latin,
And the Latin.
the Spanish. Bring the Spanish.
Well, and like his dad and uncle are always talking, like they use derogatory terms toward the Mongols and the Chinese. They call them like barbarians and like mindless beasts.
Well,
Timorous
Kublai
beastie.
really isn't very. He's not like like that Mongolian though.
He's not Mongolian.
That's the thing. Like he. I don't know. He thinks about Genghis and the
He named him.
Mongols.
He gave him a Chinese name.
But he's no Jingham.
Jingham is a Chinese name.
He
Oh,
said-
you're talking about Genghis,
Genghis,
his grandfather.
But Eric was a far more Mongolian
Well, they
general or ruler or whatever, and that's where like the conflict was. He was like, "You're not Mongolian."
you're Chinese.
He's like, "You have become soft to the Chinese ways."
Well, and they also talk about how much of a disappointment their father was, Genghis' son.
Oh well, no, yeah, because he was a drunk.
Yeah, he was a drunkard.
But what's his name? Kublai's like, I don't know. He's like kind of a self-made man in that sense. Like,
Yeah.
like he pursued his dreams, and Jingham is like all over the place. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. He's like trying to live up to his father's. He's living in his father's shadow. He doesn't know how he's gonna overcome that. Mm-hmm. You know, but he's a bitch about it, and Kublai even puts him in his place at one point.
Yeah.
Which I enjoyed, but I don't know. We can move on if you want.
Well,
There's a lot of shit that happened in that show, though. I mean, we
recommend you watch it. It's pretty good.
The cricket minister,
Zhao
Zhao Sidao, is awesome. I like he's pretty twisted, but they didn't overdo it. Like they didn't like make him like, oh look at how fucking evil this guy is. Like he's so like, you know?
He wasn't evil, but he was, like the way he treated his niece.
Well,
and
he was.
whatnot.
That was like the most twisted thing about him. It was like he was both ambitious, and that was like one side, and then he killed that warrior as well. Remember, he was like your best warrior. Bring him out, and
yeah.
fucking just owned him.
Well, what was really caught me off guard was the awesome action scenes in the show.
Like with 100 Eyes.
With all the kung fu action.
The very last scene with Zhao Sidao is awesome in 100 Eyes.
Yeah. 100 Eyes is by far the coolest character.
He's like a legendary. They incorporate a lot of like legendary, I guess Chinese, themes into that show. Like it feels like you're watching. What's it called? Like how Kill Bill was inspired by a lot of those movies, like those kung fu movies,
like Bruce Lee movies.
Yeah,
and stuff.
I mean, there's a lot of influence from that. I feel in the Marco Polo series as well.
Definitely. Yeah.
Even though it's like none of that ever fucking happened for Marco Polo. I don't think. I think he met Kublai Khan probably like twice. I don't think that he was ever like a member of Kublai Khan's court.
Well, he's also a lot of his
Khanate.
story is disputed.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of historical
as are
people.
most stories in Hollywood.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about historically. Like, there are historians who dispute his stories.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, do they also dispute the story of Borgia?
Well, I mean,
Because that's another show that we've been watching.
we have been watching Borgia, and not the Borgias, the Showtime series, but Borgia.
It's available to watch on Netflix, but it was produced by Canal Plus.
Yeah.
And it's a multinational production effort.
The actors are really good in Borgia.
They are really good. It's surprising. I don't know. Even the American ones, like you kind of, I don't know. They're pretty good. Like what's his name?
There's John Doman?
No. The guy who's playing as the vice chancellor right now,
Rianio
Sansori.
His name is Scott William Winters.
And that guy is like totally he's from Boston or something.
Let's see where he's from.
Or like Philly.
He was born in New York.
Or yeah, New York. He's from the East Coast for sure.
Yeah.
But he talks like he's from New York. He's like, my name is Cardinal Riario Sansoni. Like
Sansori.
Oh yeah, Sansori. Yeah, totally. But
it is Sansoni. You're right.
He's good though. And the other dude is who plays Rodrigo is really good.
I'd have to say the best actor is definitely Mark Ryder as Cesare.
Yeah,
Cesare kills it.
Shit.
Yeah,
he's really good.
There's Game of Thrones actors in there.
A lot of the female actors in that show are really kick ass, except for Lucrezia.
Nah, dude, I like her, man. She gets so much better.
She does get better, but I don't know. I'm still
now that she is governor of Spoleto.
Governess.
But now she had to come back.
There's in season 3 she gets even better, but she still pisses me off.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's because she's Russian. There's like so many different people from different places in this production. Like
there's like a wide variety of actors.
There's like Germans, Italian, Israeli, Polish, Russian, English.
The costumes are really solid on the show too.
The costumes are good. The set design is really good.
Yeah.
There's never a moment where I'm like, I don't know. And some like I like that it's like pretty blunt nudity in that show as well.
There's not too much of it, which is good. Like the sex isn't
that explicit, but there is nudity. Like you do see bush and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like
well, it's a period drama.
What about when Rodrigo is like getting off of the vitriolo and he's like shitting and fucking throwing up everywhere? Like when Venosa comes to the the what's it called? The Apostolic Palace to like help Rodrigo out or whatever. There's fucking puke all over the floor. That was so gross.
Well, and he's like doing something, and then he just walks somewhere else and squats and shits on the floor. And he's like muttering to himself.
It was like in a bedpan. No, and I mean, there's some brutal shit. At one point, okay, what was the cousin's name that was taking care of Lucrezia in like season 1? Remember the blonde one, and she got like banished by Rodrigo? Because she helped her son. Her son was
Adriana de Mille.
Adriana, yeah.
Adriana de Mille.
Do you remember she went to Venazza's place or whatever, and Venazza like threw a bedpan out at her, and she had like shit in over her. It was so gross.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that was man. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
some stuff in that show like blows my mind. Like I just saw in an episode recently. You haven't seen it yet, but a baby gets dropped, and I literally like yelled at the computer as I was watching it. Because you see it go down.
Yeah.
Someone's holding it, and some guy gets punched, and the baby like falls, and you're like, no!
Or what about like when the Pope walks out naked in front of everyone?
That was a total moment, like what the fuck moment.
I was like, why is he not going back inside the door?
It's the vitriolo, man. The vitriolo. That show is like surprisingly good though. It starts off slow. It starts off slow, but it's good.
Yeah, it's really
I don't
good.
know. It's you have to be into like period dramas, I think.
The first episode is kind of hard to watch, but I don't know why I'm like that, but that first episode for me of Borgia was kind of meh.
The first episode was hard to watch. You have to like get yourself into it though.
I
think
like,
by the middle of the first season it gets really good.
Yeah, and the second season is really, really good.
Like but actually by episode 5 it's good. Once he's Pope it's good.
Yeah.
But before that he's like building himself up as a cardinal. He's basically nobody.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's
just Rodrigo.
It's like House of Cards.
He goes
like,
from
he's
I
like,
to we.
Yeah, and now he's like a total psychopath, though. You watch this dude turn into a complete fucking psychopath. Like, he goes crazy.
Well, we were talking about before the show.
We were talking about it. Who's we? You?
Me and you.
Oh, not just you.
Me and you were talking about
We were talking about it.
Before the show. And historically, Pope Alexander VI, the figure that's portrayed in the show, was the worst pope ever.
You never justified that.
Well, he was bad, man.
He's renowned as being a bad pope, but not being one of the worst ever.
Well,
there are definitely some popes that are in hell.
Sure.
You know what I thought was really funny? Was what was it? When some cardinal was dying. Someone got poisoned or something like that, and he asked him. He was like, "What do you smell? The sense of heaven or the shit of hell?" And he was like, "Hell."
He goes, "The sweet breath of heaven or the foul stench of hell."
Hell.
That was Orsini.
Yeah, Cardinal Orsini. He poisoned him.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, I don't know. It's
Jean
like,
Baptista.
it's kind of typical. There's like a bunch of shows like this. It's like Game of Thrones.
But he
kind of
wasn't
similar.
poisoned. Do you remember the guy Gassette is like, the doctor is not sure. It was just bad fish.
No. But he was poisoned.
Oh, okay.
But he was saying it could have just been like bad fish, and then
He's
Rodrigo was like, yes. And Gassette's gay. He's like, Rodrigo, I am a sodomizer.
A sodomite.
Oh yeah, he's like, I am a sodomite, and Rodrigo's like, no, just shut the fuck up.
Because he gave that guy the Pope's pear.
Well, he would do it to anyone too, except like Gassette is vital to his operation.
He needs
So,
him.
Yeah, I don't know. I do recommend watching this show though.
As do I.
It's interesting. Julia is she's a total bitch. I hate her even more now. Like I hate her. I hate
Excuse
her.
me.
I hate her more with every
She's
episode that I
annoying.
watch. I hate her more and more.
I wish he would have just let her marry, and that way she could have gone away. And Alessandra is annoying too.
Alessandra. Well, they're so fucking pragmatic. Like that whole family is just like, let's get higher status.
And the mother is annoying.
She's a bitch.
She's
All
so
that they
annoying.
care about is their status, though, and getting to like, you know.
Which, I mean, it's kind of a proper representation of that time
It
in
is.
history.
But why are you fucking the Pope? Like, if that's not going to give you any status in the long term. Like,
Everyone despises you.
and
for it.
why would she ask him to find her a husband?
Because, I mean,
He actually loves her though. He never loved Vanazza.
in that time, though, you don't just get married to someone. Like, they talk about it continually in the show, like the dowries and whatnot.
So she needed a proper husband.
Yeah.
And that's why she's like, I'm going to go marry what's his name?
Virginia
Virginia
Orsini.
Orsini. And he's like, you fool. You foolish whore. No one will marry you. No nobleman will ever marry you.
Pope has set his eyes on you.
Baba.
Babble!
Babble.
Babble! That's what Lucrezia calls him. Babble! And
Babble.
now he's been reunited with his Matuzzi bastards.
What is my Tootsie bastards? What's that?
He had other children.
What?
Yeah.
Are those the other children that...
That lady who gets Lucrezia
Oh,
to
that's
give-
right. The redheaded ones.
And she has a child, and now the Pope has seen
One of
her.
them's cute. She's like Lucrezia's maid.
No, what?
hot.
Those are the cousins from Spain.
Oh, I see.
They came when the 5 Borgia Cardinals came from Spain.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Yeah.
I see. Right on.
So, are you...
But wait. Okay, so now the whole Borgia family is like in the court. I keep thinking about Assassin's Creed when I'm watching that show, and I feel like the Borgia family should get more powerful than they are already.
They were powerful in Assassin's Creed.
They ran like all of Italy.
And it was kind of like that, more like that in actual history, you know? I was actually reading about Cesare Borgia, and he was removed from his tomb, which was inside a church, but they recently lobbied to get his tomb restored. So you could go visit the grave of Cesare Borgia.
You could go visit the grave of Pope Alexander VI, I'm pretty sure.
No, he's buried beneath...
The Vatican?
Yeah.
You can't go there?
No, you can't go look at... When a pope dies, it's really serious. Like, he is buried never to be seen again.
Really?
Like, to order the interment of a pope is almost impossible.
We can't go check out the Pope's body
No.
and, like, play with the bones.
Oh my god, I can't believe you're saying such things.
What?
Um,
What? But wait. You can't believe I'm saying... You obviously, if this show tells you anything, it's that the entire, like, all of that is bullshit. Like, just... He's, like, this guy goes completely power crazy over being the vicar of Christ or whatever, and it's all just politics. Like, those people... Like, when Cesare leaves the or what's it called? The College of Cardinals, he's like, you people are all so corrupt, like, we'll all be rotting in hell together.
Yeah.
Because they're all just pragmatic and in it for their own good, you know. Like,
But that's how
none
it
of them are
was
holy
back
men.
then. But that's how it was back then.
The only man that was holy or had any semblance of holiness in that show was Savonarola, and he's fucking dead.
I disagree, man.
So-
He did kind of, but he was
He had like a fucked up way of going about it.
Yeah, and he was super prideful about it, man.
He was, but he's more holy, I think, than any of the cardinals.
I guess.
Alessandro is pretty holy.
Nah. He broke his vows of celibacy, and he had a child.
And he stole.
And he stole from the church.
He told Rodrigo that he didn't want that position too, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I stole it. You are fired.
Oh,
he fucking.
I haven't seen that yet.
No, that happened a while back.
No,
that doesn't happen in season 3, dude.
It hasn't. It must have happened at the last episode of season 2, which I have yet to watch.
Nah, it happens like in the middle of season 2, dude.
He hasn't been fired yet for me.
He hasn't been fired.
Download just spoiled for me.
He hasn't. Wait, he hasn't stolen.
He's
yet?
stolen, but he hasn't been fired.
Did he confess to stealing?
No.
Oh well, then that's like that happens. But he ends up being fine. Long story short.
So there's also another show about the Borgias. It's called The Borgias, which was a Showtime show.
It's higher. It's rated higher.
I mean, it's a lot of people prefer Borgia, the Canal Plus version. But Jeremy Irons, who plays Rodrigo Borgia in the Showtime version, he's going to be playing Alfred in the new Batman vs. Superman.
Great.
Were you familiar with that? Yes. I think we've mentioned it before on the podcast.
Yeah, I watched. Have you seen that channel on YouTube? It's like 100 things or whatever. All the things, or Cinema Sins or whatever. It's like all the things that are wrong with a certain movie in like 16 minutes or less, or 15 minutes or less. Mm-hmm. You haven't seen that?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
There's one for Batman and Robin that I watched, and they committed like 150 cinematic sins. It was the one with Uma Thurman and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The terrible one.
If you
the
watch
one that Joel Schumacher is still apologizing about to this day.
Still apologizing for it. Like, he apologized for it again probably a week ago.
Yeah.
He apologizes for it profusely. I think it fucked up his career, but
it was a stain.
That
on
movie,
Batman,
that movie
dude.
makes no fucking sense at all.
So
though.
dumb.
And if you watch the Cinema Sins or whatever, it just makes it's like, wow, like you don't even realize all of the shit that doesn't make sense in that movie. Like, because I watched it as a kid for the first time, and I haven't seen it since.
I've seen it many times.
For instance, like when Poison Ivy becomes Poison Ivy, all of a sudden she has like this ally. She's allies with Bane. Like, she goes down, she's like, "Coming, Bane, honey." She just like fucking met him.
Well, I hate to justify it for you, but that was made sense of, because it was stupid the way they did Bane. Like, the way they did Bane was a total farce, but her boss was making the serum, the Venom serum. That's why they had all the snakes and stuff there. And downstairs in the basement of that lab is where.
But they left Bane completely unhooked down there, and then they went upstairs, like the Doctor and Poison Ivy, before she turns into Poison Ivy or whatever.
Yeah.
They go upstairs and they're just like, okay, we're just gonna leave this guy completely unhooked with hopes that he's not gonna kill anybody. Of course he's gonna kill people.
And then he grunts, and she's like, "Coming, Bane."
Yeah, and she's like, "Coming, Bane, darling." And she doesn't even like Bane doesn't know her.
Why have they don't
have
fucked
any
up
relationship
Bane so
at all?
much? Like, Bane was fucked up in that movie, and Dark Knight Rises, although I love it, is still like a fucked up misrepresentation of Bane.
Yeah. I don't know. Bane is like probably one of the ultimate Batman villains too.
Yeah, and he's the best when he's like a luchador, man.
Bane and the Joker are like two of the biggest threats to Batman.
I'm not happy with any of the cinematic versions of Joker. Like I've said before, like Heath Ledger was a good performance, but it's not the Joker.
The Jack Nicholson one was good, was okay too. It wasn't great though. The best Joker is in like Justice League and JLU.
Like Mark Hamill Joker is fucking amazing.
Yeah, he's good. He's the best one. We've said this several times on this podcast before though.
We were going to talk about some of the rumors around Batman v Superman, but we may just.
What's going on with that?
Well, okay, so there's nothing official, but these are a bunch of the rumors about it. The movie is apparently going to open with a flashback of Bruce Wayne arriving in Metropolis during Superman's fight with General Zod. So like a flashback kind of, you know? And then it actually takes place a few years after Man of Steel. And Superman is the focus. He's already a hero at this point.
So it's a Superman movie, basically.
He's already the hero, too.
Batman isn't, though.
So Clark Kent and Lois Lane are still together. They live together, and they both still work at the Daily Planet. He's covering fluff pieces. Like, he's not even doing real stories.
He's doing, like, stupid stories, like, about dogs. Like dog shows.
Jeremy Irons' Alfred will be more actively involved in Batman's crime-fighting campaign. More like the Arkham games, is what they're saying.
Like, hopefully not like in Gotham, though.
No,
Where he's like, teach me how to fight, Alfred.
But that's dumb. I don't want to see little kid Batman like a whole show about that. It's so dumb.
That show is like that show is a stain. That show is a stain.
This is a big rumor. Commissioner Gordon will be dead in this continuity.
I don't know if I like that.
There could be additional villains. Batman will have multiple bat suits and a new voice. Aquaman and Cyborg will be at least introduced. They're not saying how much screen time they're going to get. But
if it's just Batman and Superman, that's going to be lame. In like 1 minute of Cyborg.
Yeah, that would suck.
That's going to be super lame. I don't know. I would like to see quite a bit of the Justice League in this movie, if possible.
Well, okay, so the biggest rumor behind it is that the villain is going to be Doomsday.
What?
The big
villain isn't the... Oh, really?
I think what they mean in terms of Batman v Superman is Batman is kind of like at this point is upset with Superman because he's stealing the limelight or something. I don't know.
I like... Okay, so the Flash versus Arrow episode was pretty good because Flash was like taken control of by something else, right?
Yeah.
He was possessed or some shit. But Batman versus Superman, like... I thought that the villain was Lex Luthor.
I don't... is it? Because Jesse Eisenberg is Lex Luthor now.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a good guy in this one.
Nah, there's no way. Because there's Mercy, too.
Oh, dude. Who's playing Mercy? Did we talk about that?
I don't remember, but we're going to see that.
I hope they do Mercy justice.
I mean, I would like to see Brainiac in the Justice
I doubt
League
we'll
movie.
see it.
Not in this movie.
In the Justice League movie?
They should build this up to do the story arc where Lex Luthor, like becomes one
searches
with Brainiac.
for Brainiac and then finds him.
Well, they if he melds with Brainiac in the next movie, and then like after that they can do a story arc where he's like
the villain.
He loses Brainiac, and he's got no powers or whatever.
Well, and then they could introduce Darkseid too.
Darkseid is I'm most excited to see Darkseid.
Darkseid's ultimate nemesis is pretty much Brainiac. He hates Brainiac.
Really?
Besides the gods on the new gods on the other planet, his biggest nemesis is Brainiac.
They're both
rivals.
Both villains, though.
They're rivals, is what I mean, not nemesis.
Brainiac is a supercomputer. Darkseid's a god. Yeah.
Yeah.
Darkseid's nemesis is Superman.
Brainiac is almost a god. Like he has god levels of
godlike powers.
Yeah.
Because he's been around for a while. The Anti-Monitor has godlike powers.
Well, and you can't kill Brainiac. Like all it takes is one tiny nano microscopic bit of him to survive.
You could kill Brainiac in theory.
It's hard to do.
You couldn't kill the Anti-Monitor, I don't think.
I don't think they do they? In Green Lantern, they send him back.
They send it to like another dimension, don't they?
Yeah.
So it just eats everything in that dimension until there's like nothing left.
True.
I don't know.
It's getting dark in here.
It is. We should call it.
We gotta
stop. This has
talking.
been a fun episode, though.
If you enjoyed this episode,
it's been great.
Please go on iTunes, leave us a review. It'd be most appreciated.
And I'm Downlow'd. You can find more information about me at iamdownload.com. That's DOWNLOWD. And go download some new tracks and good stuff. Give me a like on Facebook and like my posts and follow me on Twitter and let's talk. Alex will tell you more about Macro Records and the exciting stuff that we're up to right now.
So if you want your tweet featured on the show, go ahead and tweet at us at Macro Records. And if you're interested in anything Macro Records, you can go to thisismacro.com. It's the hub for all things macro. Blog, Let's Play, podcast. Everything we do is there. Go check it out. And don't forget our store, shop.thisismacro.com. We have shirts.
Shoits.
Cool shoits.
Some cool shoits. And we're going to let Micah play us out with the love that he lost.
Thanks for listening.
And like us